So his habits.
Yeah, well, I was trying to think of
Man of many habits.
He is a man of many habits. And we mentioned earlier about his time in Indonesia in that documentary, and, one of the scenes or a couple of the scenes is just him like reading. And he was apparently just a voracious reader, just endless all the time, just reading books. And to the point that when he was in year 10, he was reading like Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. Like, that's some pretty deep shit, mate.
Absolutely.
And so I imagine this has been a big, forming part for his ability to understand the world, his ability to interact with people, and then also tied in with that is his writing, which is probably just as prolific as what his reading is. From what I took away, he basically journals every single day. Still likes to use the handwritten journal, and when he was in office, he would make a set habit and a set time throughout each day to basically take in a bunch of letters from the people of the United States and read them and get some direct insight, which I think was the canvas is blank when you walk into the presidency in a lot of respects, and so you can kind of choose to do what you wish and how you wish to do it. So, this was one of the things that he just had set into his diary each day.
Yeah, I liked that because it meant he didn't get stuck in an ivory tower as much. I thought that was quite a good idea. Yeah, it's super interesting, his kind of habitual nature. But there's no one we've talked about who doesn't love to read, is there?
Maybe we're biased towards those books, mate. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe someone that's had a book written about them or writes a book in the first place is. I think there's a bias in that. There's a systematic bias, mate, in our show.
People who love to learn end up writing books, maybe. I don't know, but it's certainly a theme that comes through.
So and I think the writing, mate, goes on to help him with his decision making that you mentioned earlier. So do you want to tell us a little bit about his approach to decision making?
This is probably my biggest takeaway from the book, is that it was really just one little paragraph that kind of, among everything else, but it really stuck out to me. And he was kind of talking about how he approached the tough decisions of his presidency, and he came up with this kind of system. He said that rather than let myself get paralyzed in the quest for a perfect solution or succumb to the temptation to just go with my gut every time, I created a sound decision-making process. One where I first really listened to the experts. Then I followed the facts, considered my goals, and then weighed all of that against my principles. Then, no matter how things turned out, I would at least know I'd done my best with the information that was in front of me. And that, to me, that was like a really interesting kind of framework that you could kind of, because it seemed to me the job is basically making decisions, as far as I could tell from reading this book, is you get plonked in the chair, you've got a little bit of leeway around how you receive information, what your schedule's like, but really you've got this kind of apparatus around you, and people come in and go, hey, this has happened. All right, here's 6 experts, or here's the Joint Chiefs of Staff, here's your Chief of Staff, here's your political advisor, here's this, here's that. All right, tell me about the problem. Well, this rig has burst and it's spewing oil into the
Tell
ocean.
You what, that was a fucking disaster, wasn't it?
Oh my God. And then you've got like your economic advisor, your environmental advisor, your political advisor, and they're telling you all the angles. And then they say, Mr. President, what do you want to do? And then he kind of says,
I don't know.
Oh, shit. And then he would go through this process, and I think it's really quite a good one, because it kind of, at the end, it goes from the problem all the way up to what you're about.